Okay, so in this objective, we have some theorems related to isosceles triangles. So isosceles triangles are triangles where two of the side lengths are equal in measure. So that means that the base angles are also congruent. So there's a bunch of theorems, and unfortunately, if we use these theorems, some of these don't have names. So if they don't have names, you have to abbreviate them, paraphrase them if you're going to use them, which I know is a pain, so I do apologize, but that's kind of the way it is. Sometimes that's the way the cookie crumbles. So that's kind of where we're at. So if I look at example 1, I'm looking to see, is angle WVS congruent to angle S? So that is yes, because it's an isosceles triangle. So because the legs are congruent, then the base angles are congruent. The converse works the same way. If TR, so here's TR highlighted instead. TR is that congruent to TS? So yes, because the base angles are congruent. So because the base angles are congruent, then the legs are congruent. Oops. Okay. So, VT is congruent to VX. And because the base angles are congruent, then the legs are congruent. My handwriting is terrible tonight. I apologize. Okay, so UT, change colors. UT is congruent to YX, which is congruent to UW. And since the angles are congruent, the legs opposite the angles are congruent. Okay, so VU is congruent to VY. And that's segment addition postulate. So angle VYU is congruent to angle VUY. Since the legs are congruent, then the base angles are congruent. Okay. So now we got to write a proof here for example 3. So let's see. AE is congruent to DE and AB is congruent to DC. So I want to prove triangles ABE is congruent to triangle DCE. Okay, and I do this only because this way, so in that way I can kind of see what I'm trying to get to. Especially if proofs are hard for you, that's what I would do. All right, so 1, AE is congruent to DE, and that's given. And then 2. Okay, so then angle A is congruent to angle D, and that's by the isosceles triangle theorem. And then 3, AB is congruent to DC, and that's given. And then 4 would be the triangle. So triangle ABE is congruent to triangle DCE by side angle side postulate. And that is it for this lesson.